Hello! So, what is physics? In today's video, I want to try to explain to you what is physics in general and what physics usually try to describe, and what physicists try to describe with physics. So, some people can say that physics is a branch of science that they learn in schools and that's it. But physics in general is pretty big subject that can explain almost everything that we experience, and physics is, of course, a branch of science that can and try to describe our nature, our environment, how different things work, and describe every phenomenon that we have in the world. So essentially, it's a science about our nature. So let's think about a very famous example with Sir Isaac Newton when he was lying under the tree and the apple fell on his head. So this is a myth, but this is a very good example of how physicists and scientists tend to describe every phenomenon that we see in our world. So from this example, we can see how Isaac Newton tried to observe every phenomenon that was happening in the world, around him, around his environment, and he discovered that everything on our Earth tend to fall, and that's it. For some people, it might seem obvious, and that's how things are going in our world. That's how they work. But if you tell this to scientists or physicists, they will be very mad at you. So when we try to observe every phenomenon that is happening around us, scientists and physicists, they try to describe this phenomenon and maybe explain it. So first, they set an experiment, how this phenomenon will work under different circumstances. For example, we can take a vacuum chamber and try same experiment with dropping items inside that chamber. We can see that nothing changes, so that means we can exclude every other phenomenon, for example, air resistance, and we're left with something like a gravitational force. The thing that I just said was a hypothesis. They are not usually proven, and we have to prove it by setting many other experiments with different environments, different conditions that we can apply to the object. Then at the end, when we are certain that this thing will work, when we excluded every other thing that is not considered here, we can say that this is our theory, and this how we explain this phenomenon. After theory is proposed, usually work on mathematical explanation of that. And of course, in the future, we can work with this mathematical explanation, solve different mathematical tasks, mathematical problems, physics problems. That's essentially how physics works and how scientists describe every phenomenon in our world. So essentially, that's what I am trying to do on this channel. I'm trying to explain different things in a very deep understanding of this subject, of this phenomenon, and try to go very deep inside this subject. Of course, sometimes I cannot do that because I don't have proper education. I didn't go to special science schools or special scientific schools, but I am an engineer. Of course, it's not that kind of deep understanding of everything that is happening in this world, but some things are same. They are taken from physics. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe you now will try to understand and maybe try to like physics, because that's the path I've taken. I understood physics pretty well, and now I enjoy doing physics, and I like physics and mathematics. So this is it for today, and see you in the next video.